Welcome back to the podcast. We have a very special guest. If you want to introduce yourself.
What's up? I'm Apazo or Ross. I work for Sentinels as a YouTube manager and an editor.
Oh, okay. Do you also work for Clicks too as well?
Yeah. I work for Clicks as well.
Oh, okay. So, still, huge thing. How did you first end up as a Sentinels editor?
So, I mean, my story is like kind of very much different and to most people's entry into esports. I mean, I don't think anyone really has a normal entry into esports, but mine was certainly not that normal. So, I started I used to want to be like a Fortnite pro like really badly when I was like 16, 17. I wanted to be a Fortnite pro so bad, but I was like never good enough. So, I still wanted to be like involved in the scene and in the community. So I knew how to edit. So my friend was like, why don't you like edit YouTube videos? So I like made like really bad montages and like videos and stuff. And I like reached out to people and like would edit for free, like small streamers with like 10 viewers, 15 viewers, and just like would work for free. And then I like started working my way up and I started working with bigger people. Like I built my resume for like 6 months, like working for free. And then I stumbled across this, or I hit my friend up who was an editor, and I was like, "Yo, you know anyone needs a client?" He like was already like pretty successful at the time. I was like, you know anyone needs a client? And he was like, "Yeah, there's this guy in North America, who's really good, and he was Booga, and he only had like 10K on YouTube at the time. It was before he qualified for World Cup, or less than 10K on YouTube, like 5K on Twitter." I started working with him. Like we hit it off. We became friends. I started working with him. I was getting paid like $400 a month or something, and I was running his YouTube. And then 3 months later, he won Fortnite World Cup. And then like we hit a mil within like 48 hours or something. We went from like 30K subs to like a million like overnight. And I honestly thought I was gonna get like fired, and he was gonna like hire like some agency or something or some like big channel manager. But he kept me on. And then like all my socials grew. And like I got a couple other clients. I could start working with Clicks off the back of it. And then he still is on Sentinels. And I got to know like the Sentinels people, and I kind of would troll about it and joke about it on Twitter because like all the editors back then like wanted to be part of like an org. So I like hit him up. I would just like tweet like, "Oh, Sentinels, when like you looking for an editor?" I'd like reply to tweets and I'd like DM them because I kind of knew some of the staff. And then a position came up. And they're like, "Yo, do you want to join Sentinels and be a part of our video team, like on a part-time basis?" And this was before they had a Valorant team or anything, so they had an Apex team and a Fortnite team. And I took in that position, and it was like it was a couple weeks later they signed the Valorant team. I can't remember exactly, but it was around that time. And then time went by, and then I took on a bigger role, and then when their social guys left, and then the position opened up to run their YouTube channel, and then that happened by like a year or two ago, a year and a half ago maybe, and then I'm here now. That's where I'm at.
Hey, you can always say you almost struck gold with first of all you Booga. And
I definitely got very lucky, and I like owe my whole career to him. I used to like struggle with imposter syndrome quite a lot, but like I mean I just try to think of it like everyone gets lucky. It's like what you do with that luck, right? Mm-hmm. Like I got super lucky, and I like worked hard, and I kept doing it, and I saw there could be like some sort of future in it, and I worked with other people and networked, and I ended up here. So I mean, sometimes I still struggle with it. Like I mean, like if that never happened, where would I be? Like would I even be in this position? But like everyone has to have like a bit of luck to get to where they are anyway. So like everyone gets lucky. You just gotta what you do with that luck.
Having that on your resume, even if in the future having resumes like, I edited and was managed Sentinel's YouTube channel, because right now they are one of the biggest esports orgs at least in North America right now.
Yeah,
especially with their Valorant. I mean, everyone jokes about them. It's like, oh, they're just the Valorant org, but to be honest, like, look how far they've come. They signed people like Tarek and all that. So when it comes to, I know you're the editor for the YouTube and you handle it. How early do you know the inside scoops of, like, for example, content creators and then like players when they get signed? For like when I DM'd you, it's like, "Yo, did you know about Pincata and Saucy?" And you're like, "I can't say anything."
So like just now it's like really crazy, right? Because like roster mania, so like stuff happens like so quickly. Like sometimes we'll like, I mean, it depends. Like I don't know. I'm not like that high on a priority list of like knowing stuff. So like our 3D designers and stuff that make like the really like cool like Twitter videos, like they know like quite early on. I'll maybe know like sometimes. Like with Tarek, I helped out with the video, so I knew like a week before he got signed. But like just now, like sometimes we'll find out like 48 hours or like a day before that we're signing someone, and we have to like post the announcement like a couple of days after. Like it can be like crazy, like especially right now, like with all these like players getting signed so quickly, like everything happens so fast. It's pretty insane. It's fast turnarounds. Definitely not like what I would be used to. It's like right now, like deciding players is short turnarounds, but usually it's like I don't know. It really depends. Like it varies from player to player. Like sometimes if it's gonna get leaked or something, we'll like rush it out quicker. But I don't know. I'd say like a week before usually. If it's like Tarek, for example, was like a week before. Shroud was a different one because like Shroud was like super like held quiet.
Yeah.
But yeah, because that was like a huge secret, and that didn't get leaked at all, which is surprising. Because like Sentinels,
Yeah.
like none of our shit gets leaked like ever. I mean, like
How do you guys do that? That's the one thing. You guys are the only org where like for some reason everything. I mean, minus this roster, of course.
Yeah,
but like
yeah.
you always keep everything hush hush. How the hell do you guys not manage to leak anything? That's that's impressive in itself.
Yeah, I don't know. It's just, I mean, I think it's because like our team is like relatively small compared to like other orgs. That's what I would. My guess would be. Maybe Riley, who's like our head of marketing, would have like a different opinion. But I feel like it's just because our team's so small and like we all like, I don't know, we all like. It's not like I don't know. Sentinels is like kind of different to like most orgs. I feel like internally, like we don't have that big of like a team compared to like 100 Thieves. Like 100 Thieves, or at least they used to have like a massive team. And I feel like it's way easier for stuff to get leaked that way. Whereas ours, like it's very few, or I mean, comparatively, it's like very few people that actually know about the leaks and like launches. So it's pretty easy to keep under wraps.
So management is kind of good when it tells you it's like, oh, just letting you know in a week we're signing Tarek, or like, hey, we just need you to make this video. But like they probably know like a month in advance. But
yeah, I'm honestly, yeah, I'm not really sure. Like it kind of, I just get handed it down from my boss, and like it really depends. Like it's like a kind of like a need to know basis. Like if you need to know, obviously like I'll know like before it gets tweeted because we have like the video to get ready to upload before. But yeah, it really depends from player to player.
So when it comes to you like editing, like how do you first like find that passion for editing? Like did it just come out of nowhere? Were you in school for it? Like how did that come to fruition?
Yeah, so like the first time I ever edited was in an English class. We had to like take like a Shakespeare, or was it? Yeah, it was a Shakespeare play, and we had to like make like a short film of it. And that was the first time like I guess I did like I used to make like YouTube videos when I was like a little kid, but like it was hardly editing. It was like on my like iPad. But like the first time I like actually got into editing was I was like 15, and I was in school. And we made like a Shakespeare thing, and I didn't want like I had to be part of it, but like I didn't want to be on camera. So like I was like, okay, I guess I'll edit it because like I don't know, that meant I didn't have to be on camera. And then I like realized like I enjoyed it and like I had a good time doing it. So then I would just like make like short films with my friends, like just for fun, like outside of school, or we'd make like just random like videos just for fun. Like I would never post them or anything. We would just like I don't know, we would just like film shit and like edit it like with like effects and stuff. And I don't know, this is what we would do for fun. And then like since I already had that skill, like I said, I kind of combined the two with my two like passions, I guess, like gaming and like movie making, like video editing, and I combined them, and then that's kind of how I ended up what I'm doing.
Yeah. I mean, I know your editing is more of just like a traditional editing with like with clicks, and then for the Sentinels is like more of content related. But I know like how about other editing like styles, like for like the Frag movies, like the moves, like how he does his editing style. Like what do you ever think about what do you think about those kind of edits compared to like yours, where like you're more traditional, it's more just like, hey, we're based off content, we're not like super flashy, colorful, all around music, all that stuff.
Yeah. I mean, honestly, I think my editing like sucks. Like I've never really been that good at editing. I've just like done enough editing that I need to. Like I really enjoy, my main passion now is like YouTube management and channel management. I think that's like I'll end up doing more of that and less editing. So like I have like a lot of respect for like the editors are like actually really good. Like I know enough for like I can make a video look good, and like I feel like my storytelling is better than like my actual effects and like transitions, so, and like the technical aspects of editing. Like I enjoy like we've done a couple of docu-series and stuff, and I enjoy that, like the storytelling and the pacing and stuff. I really enjoyed that. But like in terms of like the moves and who else is there's another one,
Force, I think was one of them.
Yeah, Yeah, they're like their editing style is so cool. I love it. I wish I could do stuff like that, but I just like never dedicated the time to it. And I think I'm kind of closer to ending my editing part of my career than I am to like go back and maybe like I'll do it for fun and like learn how to make stuff like that. But I mean, yeah, I just have like so much respect for them because I've tried like doing stuff like that, and I don't know, I just gave up because it's just like so much effort and like the creativity these guys have. They get a lot of hate, which is kind of weird.
Yeah,
Like,
I was gonna ask you about that. Like, why do you think they get so much hate for like no reason? I feel like they're just like they're making. I don't know how to say this, but like it just always feels like they're just like showing their creativity, and it's like
yeah,
they're just trying to make it fun. But for some reason, a lot of people find it like hateful. So I don't know if they're
yeah,
just jealous or more just like they don't. It's not anything for. It's what's weird about it is they don't edit anything offensive. It's just like Valorant
yeah.
clips, but people get offensive. Why do you think? What is you think like the main reason is why they get so much hate for their editing?
A lot of like the editing community is like kind of weird. They can be kind of weird, and there's a lot of like fragile egos, and a lot of people like see people
Really?
like getting like I mean, a lot of it. I wouldn't say like maybe in like main esports right now, but like a lot of like editors like from the old community that are part of and stuff. Like a lot of them would like get mad when they see someone being successful, and also because like the moves and like all like that editing styles like TikTok editing, where like a lot of like editors have this like weird like superiority like complex because like they came from like COD editing or like CS editing.
Oh yeah, yeah.
And they're like, oh, this guy just blew up on TikTok. Like I've been doing this for years and my videos don't get as many views. And a lot of it, like it comes down to that. People will say it's not, but in my opinion, that's where I think it comes from. Like people with just like fragile egos that they see someone else doing way better and like, oh, he's not doing this. He's not like, I don't know, like whatever. Like they're not doing it the right way or whatever, or the way they would do it, like the traditional way. And people are like, oh, they're blowing up and it sucks. It's just repetitive and it's the same thing. But like at the end of the day, if people enjoy watching it, that's what matters. Like the whole reason you should edit is to make the viewer enjoy what they're watching. And obviously they're doing that. The viewers are enjoying it. I mean, maybe it's like slightly repetitive and the same stuff, but like the viewer enjoys watching it, and that's the end goal. That's all that matters. Like I really don't understand why people get so upset about it. It's kind of cringe and kind of weird.
Yeah, you can also
those guys are
say
killing it.
you can also say kind of like content creators as well, because there's some content creators like I mean I personally have never run into like any toxic content creators. So like, but I hear like stories about like, hey, like they'll talk shit or they'll downplay some content creator because it's like, oh, I should be the one blowing up, like not him. I should be the one. I'm better. But it's like I feel like a lot of people don't. There's a lot of people that more. I don't know. You're saying it's editing community is kind of the same because when it comes to, I remember editors, they're just like they just edit and that's it. But I feel like now more editors have more of a personality.
Yeah,
like they're actually
yeah.
shown a lot now, and it's kind of nice to see because let's be serious, they do put in a lot of the work. They just put in as much work, a lot of the work as like the actual streamers or like the content creators do. So it's always nice to see, but it kind of sucks that a lot of the content creators and like editors, not a lot of them, but like some like they're just fragile egos. I feel like people don't support each other, and it kind of sucks because I always feel like we're like, let's be serious, esports is still a very new thing. If you can kind of agree with me on that, because people it's still not fully accepted, I feel like, because it's like, oh, you're just watching video games, you're just playing video games, you're not doing much. So what would you do, like what do you think should like change about that?
Like as in like esports being like widely accepted?
Well, accepted, and more just like content creators and editors more being supportive than just like attacking each other.
Yeah, I mean, like, yeah, I feel like content creators and people like working together is like, I don't know, is like a huge like hack and cheat on like how you can like grow super quickly. Because like if you can like intermingle like your fan bases with each other, like I don't know, it seems like a really easy way to grow really fast. Because if you can get like some of their audience to come over to yours, and then your audience goes over to theirs, I don't know. Yeah, a lot of people like will only want to go and like work with people above them, but there's a lot to gain from like collaborating with someone below you, because like their whole audience might have never seen you before. And a lot of people have like, a lot of people just have like this weird like ego and not wanting to work with someone smaller. But I think a lot of content creators could definitely gain from like working with smaller people. I mean, I don't know, like maybe not like super small compared to them, but I mean even then. But it's I don't know. A lot of people just need to drop their ego a little bit. Like people hit like 100K subs or something, and then they think they're hot shit.
Yeah,
I don't know. It's kind of weird, but I don't know. I guess that's just like the internet.
They focus a lot on the numbers. It's like, hey, my numbers are bigger than him, means I'm better. It's just like, it's not really that. It's just like how you carry yourself and how brandable. I mean, you do work for, I mean, Sentinels is a tier 1 org. So what do you think like they look for more than the content creators? I know you're not in like the marketing area more, but like you could definitely, I mean, you work in the YouTube, you're like YouTube management. So you see the numbers and you're like, okay, if our numbers are like good like this, if our editing is like this, our style is like this, our uploads like this, what can you give some advice for some content creators that do want to be signed to a tier 1 org in the future? I mean, because you've worked with Clicked, you've worked with Booga, you're working with Sentinels now. So what tips or like what you think are like some advice you can give to some content creators that do want to get signed in the future?
Yeah, I mean, I think consistency is like probably like one of the most important things. Like I've always said that to anyone that like wants to grow in YouTube or like be successful in YouTube, and especially like in the eyes of an org. Or I think, well, I mean, I don't know if I'm speaking on behalf of Sentinels, but just like if I was someone trying to sign a player or sign a content creator, sorry, like consistency is the number one thing, because a lot of people like get like, it used to happen a lot with like when people like get signed to FaZe, like back in the day, they would sign to FaZe and then like they're like, that's it, I've made it, you know, and they stop posting. They go from posting like every day to like once a week, and then they just slowly falls off from there. But I think if you can prove that you're like going to consistently upload and consistently create content, not only is that like super healthy for your socials and like growing on the platform individually, but also proving to an org that you're like committed and like you're ready to put the time in and consistently post videos, and you're not just going to quit after signing, you know. Like you gotta prove that you're really dedicated to it, and I think a lot of orgs would see value in that.
For sure. I mean, I mean, I don't know if you remember the whole Frosty and Nate Shot situation that happened.
Yeah.
Remember that? So it's like
it's a perfect example of that. Yeah.
Like Nate Shot was like, "Yo, you got signed, but like you didn't put any of the work in. You're saying that we stole money, but it showed like he made like close to $60K a year just by being a content creator, which is, to be fair, that's a lot of money, and just to be a content creator. And then you see, it's nice because you see some content creators like Myth was like, yeah, I didn't even get paid close to that when I was signed with TSM. Yeah, and like that was TSM, and they're like a lot, and then they're like big and all. So it's like interesting to see like the consistency, and then like I feel like a lot of people lose patience as well. I don't know if you can agree with me on that, because people are like, I want to get signed now, I want to get paid now. So it's I can understand, I can see them where it's like being patient is hard, because for me it's like, for this podcast, like we've been doing this for close to a year, and it's like we haven't got paid once. We don't get paid at all for a whole year, but we're still doing it. We're just still kicking through. It's because we have part-time jobs and we have a life outside of this. We would hope to make this big. Yeah. But that's what I would, that's what's interesting about content creation. It's like, you can literally be doing this for like 3, 4, 5+ years and still not get signed by an org. And then afterwards you will. Because I mean, like you'll see some content creators, like look at Tyler One. He was like, I feel like he's a good example, because he was just like that one dude that just like posts for shits and giggles and streams for shits and giggles, and now he's signed with T1. Yeah. So it's always.
What were you gonna say? Sorry.
Oh no, I'm saying it's always interesting to see like some journeys that come through, and then it's like you said in the beginning, it's like nobody has a perfect path to esports.
Yeah, it's different for everyone. Yeah, and I think a lot of time a big problem that a lot of people like create for themselves is like chasing an org, right? Like a lot of people think that like they're only going to make it if they're like they have their eyes set on like one org. And like, I mean, it happens a lot with like FaZe, right? Like everyone was like, I want to join FaZe, that's my only thing. And some people like use it as like a motivating factor, but it kind of like holds you back from like a lot of opportunities, because you're so focused on like joining one org, and it's like it limits you from like joining other orgs, or I don't know. Like I feel like joining an org is a lot more overhyped than people think. I mean, it pays you like a salary. I mean, from a content creator point of view, not from like an editor point of view. I mean, it pays you a salary, which is great, but you should like become big enough that an org wants to sign you, right? It shouldn't be you wanting to sign to an org. An org should want to sign you, because a lot of people, and then like that also gives you the upper hand, because if you're chasing an org, like they're going to give you a contract, and they're going to give you like the worst contract because they know that you want to join the org. But if they come to you about it, like you have the upper hand, you have all the power and like negotiating and signing and how much you want to get paid and all that. I think chasing an org is like probably like the whole grinding thing, like benefits the org far more than it does the content creator. Like it used to happen a lot in Fortnite, like people like, grinding for this, RC for this, which is literally just free promotion for the team or the org. I think it's less relevant in Valorant. But definitely like in Fortnite and like other communities, like it benefited the orgs far more than it benefited the players ever.
Yeah, I mean, there's always like horror stories of like players who's or like pro players in different esports like who's got signed contract and it's like they signed because they were young. It's like, oh shit, look at me, like I got assigned to this.
Yeah,
I'm a big shot now. It's like, but the contract is like you're stuck to this contract for 2 years and like you have to listen to what they say because they
yeah,
essentially own you at that point.
yeah. And that's
So
why
like,
getting a lawyer to read over your contract is so important. Like even mine is like an editor contract, so like a employee contract, and I still got it all checked over and everything.
like you got a
you can
lawyer
never
and
be too
everything
careful.
check out.
Yeah. You never like every contract ever. You should always get it checked over because so many. Like it might seem like you're joining the best team in the world, best org in the world, but there could be one thing like whether it's like on purpose or not. You want to make sure that you have everything exactly the way you want it. Because like a lawyer will like point out like you realize if you sign this is going to happen, and anyway, oh yeah, I'm cool with this happening, and then if you do that, if you sign this is going to happen, and then like you can go through it with them and really understand like what you're actually agreeing to.
Do orgs like find it kind of offensive if you do bring a lawyer?
Oh
'Cause
no,
I feel like there's because I understand it's like, oh, bringing a lawyer, it's like that just saying that's like I would like to talk to my lawyer about this. It's
Yeah.
like it was like a big it's
I
like
mean,
it's like a big thing. So like I don't know because do you think it's like maybe that's why like it's a little scary and they don't want to push the org away because like you come in, for example, Sentinels come in, it's like, hey, we would like to sign you the content creator, and some content creators like if I say I want to bring my lawyer into this, they might push him away and I might lose my opportunity. Do you think that that's a thing or is it just
no,
like no?
I think that would be a massive red flag if the org was uncomfortable with you bringing a lawyer in, because I mean that means they have something to hide, right? Like if an org turns you down because you want to bring a lawyer in, like I think you should immediately cut all ties with that organization, because that is just a bad idea. Because I mean, lawyers like only trying to help you and make you in the best situation, and like your org should also want the best for you as well. And 100% get it checked over, even if it's like a small contract, even if it's like a tier 3 contract or something, you definitely want to get it checked over, because I don't know, there could be some stipulation where you're like a tier 3 and then you get really good and then you want to go join like a tier 1 team or a tier 2 team comes knocking, and then you can't because this org has you locked in, or they get to take like 10% of your future salary or some crazy shit like that. That you always want to get it checked over.
Yeah, and it's people sound like it's a lot of work but scary, but in the future it always means
oh yeah, 100% worth it. Yeah, like I mean I can't remember how much, like I had like a family friend who's a lawyer look over it, but like yeah, if you're it's definitely worth the money to have a lawyer look over your contract.
Have you ever seen a contract where like you were like, oh yeah, it's good, but then a lawyer picked out, it's like, yeah, we just want to let you know like it's a little bit sketchy? Or
I mean, not my Sentinels one. I mean, I don't know how much. I mean, I won't go into it, but like, I'd never had any problems. Like, I mean, my lawyer would go through it and be like, you understand if you do this, this is what will happen, and this will happen. But like, I already knew that and like was understanding of what it all meant. So yeah, I never had any problems. Luckily, thankfully.
Was Sentinels always like the first option, or were you always like were you big fans of other orgs that you were like, damn, I would have loved to edit or manage a YouTube for?
Yeah. Before
not saying that you don't like Sentinels, it's just
I love Sentinels. I would never. I genuinely would never go to like if 100 Thieves like offered me anything, or FaZe or anyone. Like I love Sentinels. I love the people I work with. Like I wouldn't trade it for anything. Like the culture like at Sentinels is way. It's like it's not like laid back, but it's like super like cool. Like all the people are really cool. I love everyone I got to work with. My boss Sean. Like everyone's like super smart. Like it's like we have a good time. We like have fun working.
Yeah.
You know?
You guys meme a lot. I love your Twitter. Whoever runs your Twitter is like the funniest.
Oh yeah, that's Dom, Tagney, and Riley right there.
Yeah, no, they're one of the funniest people. Like
they're great.
They're like how they run the Twitter is what I think every esport org.
Yeah,
like they wrote. I mean,
Sentinels do it best. Like, so, bro, I would like the honest truth on everything I love. Like, I would never go anywhere else for Sentinels. Like, people always think, oh, 100 Thieves is the best, or whatever. But I would never leave Sentinels for
because
anything.
there's a lot of stuff in the background that it's never publicized. Like they do. It's like, I mean, it's I don't know how editors have it, but you know, like of course, players and content creators is like, hey, like you know, I just don't like the environment, like the culture here. It does not fit me. So like you can't just say I would like to fit TSM and then you go there and it's like nothing like you expected. So I feel like a lot of people don't understand that. It's like, hey, it's a tier 1 org, but like are you gonna be happy in it?
Yeah, you're gonna fit. Yeah, exactly. Because like, I mean, the thing I like love about Sentinel so much is like since it's like a smaller like team relatively compared to like other orgs, and obviously like we're growing, like and now we're part of franchising, like the org is gonna grow. But like at least right now, and I think we're gonna try to keep it as much as we can the way it is, because like it obviously works so well. But like, yeah, we can have like influence over like anything. Like we all like talk about everything. Like we all talk about like what's going on in Twitter or what's going on in YouTube, and like we take things that's going on Twitter and like we talk about it and try to put it into the YouTube videos, and like we can have influence over like everything. Like it's really cool like how much like impact and like creative freedom you can kind of get. Whereas like I think like if it was at like an org like TSM or something, like it's like a huge company and there's like layers of management, and it'd be so hard to like if I came up with a video idea like as an editor at TSM, I doubt I would like be able to go much further with it. I mean, there's probably ways, but at Sentinels I can just like pitch it to my boss or pitch it to Riley or something, and then like the likelihood of it actually happening is like super likely. You know, like the whole like tens tries series, I don't know if you've ever seen that on YouTube. Like that was something like we all just came up with together, and like we have a bunch of ideas of like future tens tries, and it's like the whole company, like it's like designers like pitching in ideas, and like everyone like gives their opinion, and it's like really like the whole of Sentinels behind everything. It's not just like we're all divided into groups. It's really cool.
Like, so for like, do you tell them it's like what ideas have you like pitched in? It's like, hey, this would like really be cool if we just got all the players and they just did this, or they would answer this question. Like, have you which videos have you done that like has actually put through and you guys edited and pushed out?
Honestly, like I couldn't name one where it's like individually, because it really is like such like a group discussion, whereas like kind of we're building off of like each other's ideas. I really enjoy the 10 try. I can't remember who came up with 10 tries. But like there was one 10 tries idea. It was like 10 tries playing Valorant on like the cheapest setup on Amazon, and we had some problems like technical issues, so the episode never came out. But like that was an idea. I think I got to come up with that idea, I think. And
I feel like just slapping Tens' name on anything just
brings
a lot of viewers, bro.
No, it is like Tens is a cheat code. That's what it's like any clip, like when we used to like do a lot more of like highlights where we just like post like stream highlights, like he was the easiest one, because like usually with like other people you'd have to like scroll through and like pick one clip there and then scroll through, but like literally if like I go in Tens and like download the top like 30 clips of the week, like at least 25 of them would be ready to go straight onto YouTube. I wouldn't have to delete any of them or anything. Like they would like go straight into the video. He's crazy. Like Tens, they just put Tens' face and name in the thumbnail and it's a 1 million view video.
Have you like you've spoken to Tens personally? Like, how is he like off stream and like off practice and all?
Yeah, no, they're like all really cool. I mean, I don't really like, talk to that many of them that many of them that often. Like sometimes there's like recording sessions, but I'm not really in all the recording sessions. But like from the contact I've had with like all the guys, like they're really cool. Like I met Tarek and Dapper like a couple weeks ago at TwitchCon, and that was really cool getting to speak to them in person. They're all like super cool. They're all like,
but like you go and like, yo, just by the way, I'm the editor, or like they already knew.
Yeah, I mean, well, so like it was kind of weird because like I mean, like at TwitchCon in general, like you don't know if someone's gonna remember your name or not. So like Tarek, I hadn't really like spoken to before. Like I think I'd been in a call with him like once, maybe not at all. I can't remember. I don't think I had, but I went up to Tarek and I was like, yo, I work for Sentinels. I know, because I knew Sean knows him quite well. I was like, oh, Sean's my boss and stuff. And he was like, oh, no way. He's like, oh, you're the guy that makes me look good. And I was like, oh yeah, like joking with him about that. And then like when I met Dapper, like that was really good. Dapper remembered me because like I'd been in a couple of recording sessions with Dapper. That was cool. Because then I go up to him like, oh, yo, what's up? I don't know if you remember me. My name's Apazo. He's like, oh shit, yeah, what's up, Apazo? Like, how are you doing, bro? Like it's cool. It's cool when they like remember you. I mean, I don't know. It's I don't know. It was a good time getting to meet those guys in real life.
Yeah, I feel like people put these like Tarek and all these pro players on such a high pedestal, but to be honest, they're just regular. Yeah,
there's normal people. Yeah, no, they're just
like,
cool
people
guys.
Don't understand that. It's like they're just dudes. Like they'll just like they'll say some shit and like be like, oh, you're a big star. You can't say that. It's like, dude, they're just human. Like,
they're just people.
They're not like super mutants where like they can fly. Like no, they're just regular dudes. Yeah. I feel like people don't understand that. Especially like Tens, like everyone makes this guy look like God, but it's like end of the day, he's just like a regular dude like everyone else.
Yeah. He's just a guy that's good at video games.
Yeah, it's not like an offensive thing. It's like more of a compliment. It's like you treat these guys like normal human beings. Like they're like I feel like they prefer that because like I've talked to like some CEOs like the Leviathan CEO dude, the most down to earth CEO I've ever spoken to. He's like a genuine gamer, and then I feel like after that I felt like I'm like damn, like everyone just like. They're just like dude. They're just regular people. Yeah. I feel like they don't understand that.
That's like the biggest, like one of the biggest takeaways, like working like in the content creator industry, not even just in Valorant, like Clicks and Booga, like they're all just like I don't know, they're just like they're just like me, you know. They just, except they make a lot more money and like they have a lot more followers, you know. Like there's like normal guys, you know. Like you can have like a normal conversation with them just about like anything. A lot
Have
of
you
people,
spoken to
yeah.
your CEO, the Sentinel CEO? How is he? Personally?
Rob, I've never spoken to him one on one, but like he's in meetings and stuff. He's cool. He's like very cool. Like he's a cool guy for like a CEO. Like a lot of people expect like a CEO to be like someone like, in like a suit and like super serious, but no, he's cool. He's funny. He's a funny guy.
Yeah, I feel like a CEO has like a big impact on how the org is.
Yeah,
as well.
no, he definitely like represents like the Sentinels, like the feeling of Sentinels. Like he definitely represents that. I feel like
because for I mean, like, unfortunate what happened to Carlos, but like with that situation with G2, it's like G2 was Carlos was G2. So like when he left, and like I feel like it always felt like a part of G2 left, so it's always weird. And I feel like every CEO has like they have more impact. For like Nate Shaw, like
he feels like Under Thieves.
He is like, without him I feel like 100 Thieves would kind of be like a little flat, so like he is 100 Thieves is him, so
same as like Hex as well.
No, for sure, Hex, like I've watched, like I grew up watching these guys, so like a lot of people, like whoever watches like in CSGO, COD, or any of that, like you grew up watching these guys, and it's always nice to see. It's not like, it feels like more of a proud thing. I don't know if you ever watched an idol like go small and be really big. It's like, of course they don't know you, but it almost feels nice to see them grow. It kind of motivates you in a way.
Like if they can do it, like you can do it too.
Yeah, I feel like the consecration, of course, like pro is completely different, but like, I mean, editors as well. Like you guys always have like such a nice personality. I feel like a lot of people, like I met some the editor who edits for the podcast. He's like one of the chillest dude. Like I fucking love him. Like we'll talk and shit. And, like he's just so chill. A lot of editors are just as hungry as some content creators as well.
Oh yeah,
like they go hand in hand. Like if the editor is as hungry as a content creator, like you guys just flourish so much.
Yeah, I mean, like a large reason why a lot of like people get into like behind the scenes of YouTube is because they like enjoy like content creation and making videos and like seeing the numbers and everything. They just aren't as comfortable like being on camera. Like for a long time, I hate being on camera. Like I wouldn't have done something like this. Like I would stream with like without face cam, and like I didn't really like want to be like seen. I would like kind of I would prefer to just be like a voice, like, and just like work on my videos and stuff and do that. And like I've kind of like flirted with the idea of like doing content myself. A lot of editors are super cool, and like they're basically like YouTubers without showing their face. Like they have as much impact. They just are like behind the scenes and don't want to be on camera.
How do you, because you said you work for like Clicks and Sentinels, how do you manage both of them at the same time? I feel like that's a lot of work because they are like you're working for very high profile people and orgs. So like, how do you manage to do both of them at the same time? Like, what's your schedule usually like?
Yeah. So with Clicks, like I kind of delegate a lot now. So a lot of like I hardly ever really edit Clicks videos myself. It's I usually, so like the way it works with Clicks, not with Sentinels, but Sentinels I got like a flat salary. But with Clicks, I get like a percentage revenue cut of the channel, and I kind of use that as like a budget as well. And then he's like, we have like a budget for editors per video. So like I said earlier, like I'm not as good at editing as like other people. So I like hire this guy we have called Luke's, and he's like really good. He's like super talented, like one of the best editors I've ever worked with. And we'll pay him like X amount of money to edit the video. And then my job at that point is just like coming up with the video idea. So I like send him like the part of the video I want. Like, so maybe Clicks is, I don't know, he like plays Fortnite arena fill, and he meets this like little kid who's like super funny, and like it's like an hour section of like an 8-hour stream, and like from like 2 hours 36 minutes to 3 hours 12 minutes, I want this part cut down into 10 minutes. I send it to him, and then he like works on it, and then like a day or two later he sends it to me, and then I come up with like the thumbnail idea and the title idea. So like it's less like time consuming, but it's still like important that my job is there, because like obviously like I understand what's going to do well on YouTube and what isn't going to do well. It's like, without having to do the actual editing and like thumbnail design myself, it frees up a lot of time to work with Sentinels and manage both like adequately. Like I probably wouldn't want to take on too much more work, because I feel like it would be unfair to both Clicks and Sentinels, because I wouldn't be putting in like maximum effort. But it's I feel like I have a pretty good balance just now. A lot of demand. But I feel like I have my balance just now is like pretty good. I could probably like take on more work, but I still enjoy like going out with my friends and doing stuff on the weekends and having time to play games and all that. So I'm like pretty satisfied with my balance, my work-life balance right now.
Yeah, I feel like not a lot of people do that. It's like like work.
Yeah, like there's this like massive grind mindset where people are like, oh, you have to be working like 18 hours a day, and that works for some people, but like I don't know, I could probably be making a lot more money and like like doing more, but I'm like happy with like what I do, you know, like
because burnout is a real thing. People,
yeah, 100%.
People still don't understand that. Like, if you were like taking another, like you're like Sentinels and clicks, right? That's already huge workload itself. If you're adding more, it's like at that point you wouldn't be like satisfied for what you're doing. It's like it's like I'm like I can't breathe. I can't like go out, hang out, get food, like do anything. It's like insane because I mean, I don't know how it is for editors as well. I don't know if like is like burnout often or common with editors as 100%.
Well. Yeah. I mean, I've like I dealt with that myself. Like, so back in Fortnite, me and my friends had like a company called Motional, where it was basically like an in-house, like as long as it's basically like an in-house like content editing thing. So like we would have like a bunch of editors and a bunch of designers, and then clients would come to us and we'd like run their channels like through the company, and like we had like different tiers of like managers that worked under us and stuff, and like we would run it, and that was like so stressful. Like I was sleeping for like 5 hours. I was like always talking to clients, like always communicating back and forth, and like that's the main reason why I like don't take on as much work as I probably could, because that was so stressful in a time in my life like I never really want to go back to. Like, it just like wasn't good for my mental health. Like I never saw any of my friends. I like wasn't really doing anything I enjoyed. I was just like working, and it kind of like all caught up to me at once, and it like wasn't a fun time. So I mean, hats off to people that can do like that grind mindset and that grind lifestyle, but for some people it's just not for them, and like people think it's like bad that it's not for them, but like I don't know, if it's not for you, it's not for you, and you can still be successful and do well in things. Like I feel like I'm proud of the work I do for Sentinels and Clicks, and I feel like I do it to a high level, but it's not like I'm grinding 24/7. I'm like doing the work when I can, like when I want to do it, and I feel like that allows me to like be more like free creatively and like be able to put more effort in, because I'm not like having to meet deadlines and like having to skip out on leaving my bedroom, you know. It's a nice balance, and that avoids burnout.
I mean, you live in different time zones, so you are.
Yeah, that part kind of sucks.
So how do you? Because I don't know if people know, you live in the UK. Yeah. So like you balance, because how many hours ahead is the UK compared to NA?
So it's 5 hours to New York and then 8 hours to California. So
how do you balance? Because for example, what if like for them it's like they'll message you at like 9 p.m. It's like, hey, we have an idea we want to talk about, and you're like, it's like in the middle of the night. It's like, dude, I'm like at bed, like okay.
Nah, so my schedule is just like completely like in ruins. Like I wake up at like 3-4 p.m. and I go to bed at like 5-6 a.m. Like it's crazy, and it's probably not that ideal. But like I don't know, I've made it work, and I've lived with it for the past like year or two now, because like Sentinels is based in California, so everything is like California times, like
California.
Yeah, so like everything, like the first meeting in the morning is like 6:30 p.m. my time, and that's like 10:30 or 11:30 California time, which is like crazy. But you know, I make it work. And like when I went to California like a couple weeks ago, I didn't have like jet lag or anything. Like it was great. Like I just woke up at a normal time.
Yeah, because you're running on their time.
Yeah. So I mean, it kind of sucks sometimes, because like on like a Friday, like if like my friends like want to go do something, like my friends like invite me out to the pub or something, like, oh no, I've got a meeting at like 11:30 p.m. or some shit.
Yeah,
you know, like it's kind of hard. It's kind of hard to explain, but they kind of understand now. And Sentinels are pretty cool with like, they understand that my hours are kind of like weird, so they're usually pretty okay with me kind of taking off at random times, or like missing time or whatever. Like I'll like get a lot of work done like before everyone wakes up in California time, and then have it ready for like the start of the day.
Yeah. How have you explained like to your parents, like, hey, I kind of work for an esports, like were they like, what is that? Like how do you explain that to them?
So I mean, like they kind of always knew that like I was like editing and stuff, because like I told them about like what I was doing with like Booga and stuff, and like when I was working for free, it was just like a hobby, right? Because I was still in high school, like I was just like doing it for fun, and it was just like a hobby. Like I could still like get my schoolwork done, and I could still like have a social life. It wasn't like really that time consuming. And then luckily, I mean, I guess it's lucky. Like since everything blew up so fast with Booga, it was kind of like I mean, it literally was like overnight. Things like went from like just being a hobby to like this is like enough money to be like more than a full-time job. And it got like pretty crazy, and I kind of just explained to my parents, and luckily my parents like super cool and understanding, and like I love my parents so much, and they like understood that this could be an actual career and it's something I actually cared about, and they like trusted that I could do it. Because I'm only 19 still, so like I was when I it was kind of perfect timing because like I left school right as things like were taking off. So like I mean I always thought I was going to go to university. I was like, I'm just going to run with this for a year and see how it goes. And then like things, I don't know, are like going pretty well. So yeah, so like things are going pretty well. Like I'm making like good money. I'm happy. I enjoy what I do. And there's like a future and like a future career path of what I want to do. It's like I mean, luckily there was never a point where it was like, it might work, it might not work. It kind of literally overnight, like just did work. So
it's like you woke up, it's like, blessed. Oh shit, what happened?
yeah, I know. I feel very blessed to be in that situation where like, I didn't really have to like prove it to my parents. Like, oh, like I make like $500 here. Like if I make like more, I could like maybe make a job. Like it was literally overnight. It was like a full-time job. And like, obviously I was very lucky for that to happen. And like a lot of people do struggle with like getting their parents to understand. But I think a mix of like it being so successful so quickly and my parents being like super cool and understanding was like just the perfect combo.
Yeah. I mean, it's always how I feel like esports right now, because I mean, it's not their fault. It's just they're built on a different generation. I feel like our generation is like, it's hard to explain to the like parents. Like I just tell my parents like I do podcasting. So, oh, what is it for like esports? It's like is that video games? I'm like, yeah. He's like, okay. I mean, we support you, but just like always, I feel like people don't understand. You have to have a backup. I feel like a lot of people was like, oh, I put all my eggs in one basket. It's like, no, man, you. I mean, of course, editing is a little different. I don't know if you could consider editing a little different, because you can go into like editing for like, I don't know, you can go for like a news channel.
Mainstream,
You could do so you could take that into everything. But I'm saying for content creation, it's like, I mean, for me, I'm studying data analytics and statistics. So like I'm doing coding, but at the same time, for me, it's like this is not anything what I'm doing. It's like completely different. This is like a side hobby. So I feel like I
definitely wouldn't advise like going full time into content creation from zero. Like it should definitely be like a side hustle that you like work on until it becomes like it can almost compete with or like overtakes like your other job, your full-time job. Or
I feel like people don't understand that. It's just like, oh, I have to, content creation is the only thing I can think of. I'm like, it's not a bad thing. You can always come back to content creation. I mean, I feel like look at Average Jonas. He said he didn't start content creating until like he was like 28 or 29. So like he was like, he started like to content creators, like that's considered late, but like look at him. He's signed with Liquid and all that. I feel like there is no age of when you can't be signed to a content you can't be signed, or like you want to make it big as a country. I feel like people understand that. It's like esports, like the one thing, it's like age, like you can be signed at any age, and like doesn't matter how old or young you are. It's just how brandable is that. Can you agree?
We can make it work, I'm sure. Brand I don't know. There is a word for it, but I can't think of it.
It's like if you are like how you carry yourself and how brandable you are. I feel like that's the word, but like it's definitely like that matters, because you can't just be like this edgy, like this person who like says this fucked up things. Like, no, man, like it's hard for you to be signed. I mean, I feel like Tyler One's the only person that I can think of that is kind of on that gray line, but he's managed to make it work. So it's kind of interesting, because I don't know if like as an editor as well, it's like, have you ever seen like clips or like I don't know if like that's even you can even monetize it, because I know YouTube's a little strict on that. So would you give any advice to people like who are on that edgy side?
I mean, it obviously like can still work. Like you have people like Speed, who's like blowing up right now, and he's like crazy successful. I mean, I don't think it's like the model you should like instantly go to is like being super edgy. I feel like there's like tasteful ways you can go about it. I mean, I think just like being authentic is like good as well. Like not trying to pretend to be anyone. Like I feel like people can see through someone with a fake personality these days a lot more easy, especially like on stream. It's a lot more easy to see if someone's like fake or actually real. But I think I don't know. I think just being authentic is like the main thing. Like if you're like genuinely a nice person, or like if you're genuinely an asshole, it's going to show, and then people are either going to like you or not like you. You know, like being like a real person, and being relatable to people, and like being, I don't know, a personality that people are going to be attached to and people like watching and like, I don't know, enjoy being around. I don't know. Then I feel like that's the number one thing, is like being like a genuine good person.
Be real.
Be real. I mean, like I don't know, like I remember Logan Paul like tried streaming like years ago, like before like the forest thing and everything, like when he was like a vlogger. And like obviously like his personality back then was like fake, and like his stream like never like took off because like it's so hard to fake being someone for like 8 hours at a time. It's so hard to fake a personality. Like that's why like so many streamers are like so, I don't know, authentic, and that sometimes goes badly for people because they get canceled for doing something bad, or it goes super well because you don't have to pretend to be anyone. You don't have to like live in this fake persona. That's like being yourself is like always going to be the best way, I think, to grow.
You think streaming is like you have to stream in order to be big, or do you think like I can be big without streaming like 60 hours like every week and all?
Oh yeah, I mean like if you stream for someone who streams for like 60 hours a week versus someone who streams for 10 hours a week but posts on TikTok every day and like makes content on other platforms, a person who makes content on other platforms is going to win every single day, because like TikTok or sorry, Twitch's like algorithm or like organic growth fucking sucks. It's so bad. Unless you have like some, yeah, like Twitch's organic growth sucks. It's so hard to get discovered. Like you got to use like other platforms to grow.
Because I know they removed the host thing. I feel like that's where a lot of people's live changed. Like I feel like they removed the host thing, so that's why it's like it feels like Twitch is like kind of like shooting their own foot with that kind of stuff. Because now you'll see like people moving to YouTube and then people streaming on TikTok and like all that. So do you think like the meta is going to try to slowly shift to TikTok and YouTube, or do you think people should still stick to Twitch as of now?
Well, I think what like Ninja's doing is really cool, where you stream on like a bunch of different platforms at once. I think that's like a really cool format that more people should try to follow, because there's no real reason to stick to one platform. Why not stream on all of them? Unless you're like a partnered streamer, obviously, but then like you're already have a platform. But like gaining like those first couple of viewers, like going from 1 viewer to like 10 viewers is like so difficult. From there, it's a lot easier. Like I don't know, growing on other platforms, like using YouTube Shorts as well. Like the possibility, I love talking about YouTube Shorts. YouTube Shorts are crazy. Like
that's another thing I do want to. I mean, you are a YouTube manager. So I wanted to ask you about that as well. So when it comes to Shorts, how do you think? Like, I mean, the big thing YouTube was like, hey, you get to monetize your Shorts now. And I think I literally just read like before the podcast, like now TikTok is doing it for people who are 100K plus. So that's like they're doing a 50-50 revenue split. So is it like I feel like YouTube is literally fighting 3 different platforms. Oh
yeah,
they're actually like doing well. So like for YouTube Shorts, that's a big thing, right? I think that's the biggest news they had. And then like they're slowly trying to fix their streaming. I feel like their streaming platform still kind of sucks. Yeah, if you can agree with me, because you can't. It's unless you're partnered or like you signed to them, you can't really stream on Twitch.
Yeah, it's hard to grow for sure. But I mean, shorts are the move, bro. Shorts are crazy. Like we've started posting shorts on Sentinels channel, and like the numbers, like I don't know if I can say exact numbers, but like the growth that we get from posting shorts is crazy. Like shorts are like super mad. There's never, because like since there's so many like people posting on YouTube, it's like super saturated now. Like it used to be so much easier to blow up on YouTube, like if you had actually original ideas, but now it's like way more difficult. But with shorts, like the organic growth and like the algorithm, the way it works is crazy. So like if you post shorts alongside your long form content, that's like 100% the best way to grow right now, is posting shorts and long form content, because like shorts and discoverability is crazy, because YouTube want people to leave TikTok and come to YouTube. So like if the reason they can give people is like it's easier to go viral, then you can just like take advantage of that and then I don't know, try grow as much as you can. Like shorts are the wave right now, 100%. And I don't think enough people are getting on it.
I feel like
I'm trying to do it with Sentinels as much as we can.
Yeah, no, for sure. I mean, Sentinels, like you guys can honestly post anything on Shorts, and I feel like you guys get numbers just because your fan base is crazy right now. I mean, we have a running gag in this podcast. We just call Sentinels a streaming org. Like, because of your old, because all the like the Valorant pros like they would all stream, so we would always like roast, like it would always like be a nice little roast, like it's like, oh nice job for the streaming org, they made masters. Like I don't know how they got 5 content creators to make masters, so it's like I know. So I mean that's like, if anything, that's like a good job for like us as a social team, because like we've helped grow their brands and stuff, you know. But like no, it's I mean like the Sentinels brands is like crazy dominant. Like what like Sentinels as a whole have built, like it's crazy. Like I mean, just look at like Zelsis. Like when Zelsis joined Sentinels, like how much his streaming career, obviously like his personality, like and his content is great, but like the platform that Sentinels was able to give him and like let him like flourish was like, I don't know, like it's perfect. Like there's so many, like being a part of Sentinels is so huge for players and content creators, I think. Yeah, no, I mean, for sure. I feel like the different orgs provide different things. I mean, he got verified. He didn't get verified anywhere else.
Yeah,
So
yeah.
you guys
We
did
had,
something
we
right.
found that whole thing around it. Yeah, it was cool.
Yeah, I feel like, and like the big twist is that you guys got two Brazilians, where like people was like, "What the fuck? Where the fuck did that come from?"
Yeah.
So that's why when I asked him, like, "Is that true?" and you're like, "I can't say anything."
Well, yeah, because it's like kind of weird because it's like George Jettis posts about it and like everyone knows about it, and like even my friends ask me about it, and like I'm like, oh, I don't know, because like I don't want to be the one that officially says it, right? Because if I officially say that, well, I mean, like part of Sentinels, right? So it's like, like everyone knew that they were joining, right? But like you just can't say anything. So I'm just like, I don't know. They might be.
It's like, oh, that would be pretty cool. It's like, wait, aren't you the editor? Shouldn't you know?
Like as we like already started working on the video, like we've already like filmed with them and shit. It's like, oh, I don't know. Maybe they're joining. I don't know. Yeah, even to my friends, I just have to like speak. My friends just know by now that I'm just not gonna say anything.
Yeah, I mean, so honestly, like you're in a weird situation where it's like, I mean, I kind of know, but at the same time, I can't really say anything.
It's like, you know, I know, and I know, you know that I know, but like I have to pretend I don't, you know?
Yeah, like publicly, I'm not gonna say anything, but wink, wink.
Yeah, yeah, no, it's a weird situation.
Yeah, for sure,
especially right now.
Yeah, but I mean, you're doing good, and I'm happy that you're really flourishing. I mean, again, I feel like you kind of made it. You're one of like the editors that like I feel like you guys like you made it. Like you could put on your resume, anybody would love to pick you up.
Yeah.
So I mean, I'm happy for you, man.
Thank you. I appreciate it. Yeah, no, it's I don't know. It still doesn't feel that real sometimes because like I mean, Sentinels grew like so fast as well. Like everything happened. Like it feels like we were still making like Fortnite and XQC videos. They got like 5-10K, and then like one day now we just average like 300K views a video, which is like crazy. That all happens so fast. Yeah, exactly.
Oh well, I mean, we're ending there of an episode, so we have a tradition. We usually end every episode. So we have two. So first one, do you know what a bidet is?
I do know what a bidet is.
Okay, do you have one?
I do not have a bidet.
Okay, what are your opinions on it?
I think I've used a bidet. I think bidets are great.
Right? Okay.
Yeah.
Because Danny, he makes fun of me because I have a bidet at home, right? And I live in America. And by the way, in America, it's very rare to see a bidet. But
I feel like I've heard that. It's like more common in the UK or in Europe.
Yeah. Or anywhere else. But I'm like, guys, it's like it's like you buy it off eBay. It's like $30. It's like not that hard. You just install it. It's like not that hard. And people are like, oh, it's like a privilege thing. I'm like, dude, it's not. It's like so, and they always roast me about having a bidet. Like all my friends, like they roast me. It's like, I was like, oh, why do you have a bidet? It's like the most efficient thing in the world. So I just need every like guest we usually ask like how efficient, and like in Argentina, like the CEO of Leviathan, we asked him and he's like, oh yeah, like everybody in Argentina has that. Like if you don't have it, it's like you're considered dirty. I'm like, I wish Americans fucking felt that way because it pisses me off.
Yeah, people that understand you.
Yeah. And our second question is, what is your go-to boba order if you drink boba?
Dude, I've like hardly really had boba. I like for the first time in America.
Oh yeah, how was it?
Yeah, so it was good. Like my favorite one is like honeydew, I think.
Yeah.
That was good. I really like that one. My friend, she made me get that one. It was good. I enjoyed that. It was good.
The honeydew one? Yeah. I feel like if you ever try all, if you ever, I mean, I don't know how common it, because we asked George and he's like, oh,
it's becoming more common here.
Yeah, because George we asked him, he's like, oh yeah, but like there's like barely any boba places here. He's like, I don't really try it. And I'm like,
I didn't even know it existed till like 3 years ago.
Really?
Yeah, I'd like never really seen it. I only knew of it because of the internet. And now like stuff's like it's starting to pop up around here, but not really that common.
Oh, okay. Is there any places near you? Or is it
I think like in the new mall they built, there's one somewhere.
Okay. I mean, I would highly advise try almond milk tea. I feel like that was really good. I tried almond milk tea. I don't know if you're lactose intolerant, but like you can try it. You're dominant. You have a dominant gene.
Yeah, that's me.
But appreciate you coming on. Thank you so much. And thank you guys for listening. I love you guys. Bye bye.